We've been in for 17 months. Over that that time period, we've done like 4.4 million in ARV. We currently own 3.3 million in rentals. Yeah, and our equity is just under 1.1 million.
Oh my God.
So
what business allows you to make 1.1 million in 17 months in
wow.
Hey, this is Niti, and what you're about to hear today is a very special episode with one of the members from our portfolio program.
We call these Sensei Sessions. These interviews are designed to give you perspective about what you can achieve with the right strategies and execution.
I hope you enjoy this episode, and for free resources, check out our show notes section to see how you can build and scale your portfolio.
Today on our Sensei panel, we have Pro Ann and Randy Betts, we have Tasha Snipes, and we have Brittany. So thank you, all of you, for joining us today. I'm actually just going to start by asking each of you the same question: who you are, where you live, where you're investing, and what your current portfolio looks like right now. And then we'll get more into what it is you're up to. Ann and Randy, I'm just going to start with you, if we may.
We're Ann and Randy Betts. We live in Southwest Michigan, so 2 hours from Detroit, 2 from Chicago. We invest in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
So we've been in for 17 months. Over that that time period, we've done like 4.4 million in ARV. We currently own 3.3 million in rentals. Yeah, and our equity is just under 1.1 million.
Oh
my God. So
what business allows you to make 1.1 million in 17 months in
wow.
Sorry, Cheryl, like I had to just
I want to actually dive into that really quickly before we move to Tasha and Brittany. But when you realized that in the last, it's less than a year and a half. So around a year and a half, maybe a little less, something like that, that you've been able to do that. How do you feel about what you've been able to accomplish?
I wish we would have started sooner. So it's very satisfying, very exciting.
Tasha, let's go to you.
Sure. Tasha Snipes. I am in Houston. I invest partially in Houston, but my burrs are in Memphis. I have purchased 3 burrs and under contract for the 4th. It's about 1.5 ARV and roughly 3 million under management.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I've been investing for over 10 years, and I think even maybe over 10 years before I joined the program. And I was able to buy or get under contract in a year and a half more than I had purchasing the 10 years prior.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that timeline tells you everything. I think in general, because the program is about scale, right? And so looking at it from that angle, when you focus on scale, you don't just think about right now, you think about the next milestone, the next move, right?
Brilliant. Brittany, welcome. It is great to talk with you. It's your first time on the Sensei panel. So we're excited to hear more about you.
Yeah. So my husband and I both work, do this together. We live about an hour outside of Philadelphia. It's where I grew up, actually. And we are investing in Philadelphia. And we just have one property. So our property ARV is about, we just actually had the appraisal. It was 235.
Ooh, awesome. Go girl. Yeah.
So we're coming up on a year.
Yeah, that's fabulous. So
we're all on a different path. I want to just take a minute, Cheryl. What can you all go over? What do you do in your world outside of real estate?
Brittany, is it okay if I start with you?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
So my husband and I both work in tech, but we both work from home. We shifted our Netflix evenings in the beginning to module watching evenings. So for us, it's we do have a lot of flexibility. So when we really want to sit, last night before bed, we went through our spreadsheet of properties our eyes are on, or so we just or sometimes it's in the morning or texts through the day if we're in the middle of something with the GC. But we're both here, and so we kind of have our blocks of time where which tend to be the evenings that we collaborate.
Tasha, if we go to you then, please share what you do and then how you're working together to manage the properties and bring in real estate and sort of how you pull it all together.
I am a lawyer. I'm a shareholder at a large law firm. I also have 2 kids. At the start, the modules definitely were my nighttime activity. I don't watch much TV. If I have a 15-minute break between meetings, I'm checking my emails or texts and responding to contractors. And so I try to maximize my downtime, get as much done in between things.
I think it's so important for us to all see the range in which we all operate, because Effie, like, she had like 4 deals in the first month or 3 deals in the first month. It took me a whole year to get my first deal. Like, we're like such a broad range of journeys, and it's important to always have that in front of us, because as a community, I want all of us to feel like no matter what our progress is and what we're doing, there's a reason for that. And no one knows where tomorrow is. So just keep going and
keep going. That's definitely the key.
that's it. Yeah.
Anna and Randy, what do you do now? And how do you fit it all together?
We're both semi-retired now. I owned a business for about 20 years, ended up selling that business. And so now real estate is our full-time gig.
Yeah, and I was an accounting manager. I was one of the pastors at our church. I mean, I've done like a bunch of different stuff. And so coming into this program, we were looking for something to do because I can't sit still. And then I got Randy along, who probably needed to sit still after 20 years of building a business. So we have time. Please keep that in mind when you hear about our success and our progress. We have time. It's been a really neat process, and the program has just helped us acquire what we've acquired and move forward quickly.
What are some of the biggest mindset shifts that you are going through right now to achieve that next level that you're trying to achieve?
I think there's a couple of significant ones, and I know we've mentioned this first one before, and that's getting over really having debt. As we started acquiring properties, I'm like, all right, we got this mortgage, and we've got, all this. And so for me, it's been just realizing, listen, you're in a business. This is different from personal. You're in a business, and there's good debt. There's good investment. Overcome some of those fears of debt. I think the second thing we're working on right now, we want to make sure that as we move forward, we're putting systems and operations in place that help us to continue to scale.
Thank you for sharing that. And Tasha, how about you? Mindset shifts that you're dealing with now?
So I would say phase 1 of mind shift that I think some of you may have heard me say was, corporatizing the real estate business, meaning, taking my skill set in the corporate world and applying it to real estate business. I think the program really helped me with that mindset shift. Phase 2 of the mindset shift is working on improving and expanding current operations for growth and prioritizing that before I even need it. So, for example, one of the things that I'm working on is hiring additional people on our team. And of course, that's nerve-wracking because that means it's additional salaries, additional people that you're responsible for. Before I do that, I have to really work on getting the systems documented. What are they going to do? What are they going to take off my plate? How is that going to help generate more revenue and things of that nature?
Brilliant. Seriously, brilliant. Brittany, how about you? A mindset shift?
I think one of the mindset shifts for me has been knowing that we were going to hit obstacles. It's kind of been connecting with the ability to accept that as a part of the journey and not be deterred by it. And I think that that's probably the most core shift.
It always amazes me that somehow we all find time to make this happen. And the more you do it, the more time you find. And it's like magic, right? In the beginning, everyone thinks there's no time. And then suddenly you find more and more and more time to grow the portfolio. And I'm really curious to know what was like that snowball, like that day when you were just like, okay, we got this, we can do this, we're good now.
I think like it's the shared values. Like by the time we actually signed up for the program, my husband and I were in. When we felt like we were working towards something we were interested in, like it didn't feel like the downtime we had every evening became functional. Now, we didn't need 5 days of TV in the evenings, right? So it was still moments for us to connect and have time together that was with a shared values and a common goal that kind of made it be something we were choosing to do because that time, like to your point, the time existed. We were just using it differently.
Oh, that's
But-
interesting that the time existed. You were just using it differently. Maybe that's the magic that we always see. That
Mhm.
I always notice in the beginning, everybody's like, where are you guys finding the time? And then suddenly it magically appears and it grows. But I love that the way you articulated it, like it was always there.
I wanted to get an idea about where you're taking this now. What is the goal for your real estate portfolio, your real estate journey? Where would you say that goal is today? Brittany, if I may start with you.
Yeah, sure. So I like to try to get 5 doors to just try to like get to that next level where I feel like then we can see how we can grow.
Love
and
it.
so yeah, I feel like once we really get a tenant in this first house, we have learned so much that I really hope we can replicate it more quickly.
Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
And then Randy, I'm going to go to you next. So vision now. What's your vision now?
So our goal is to have a total of 30 doors that are rentals. And we have 17 now. But I think it's important to recognize that last year, which was our first full year in the program, our goal was 15 to 20, and we did 5. So we kind of set the goal out there and we fell short, but 5 is fantastic. 1 would have been fantastic, but we were happy to have the 5 we did. Lots of challenges and so on, but that didn't daunt us from saying, okay, well, let's set it out there again. And then in the first 4 months, we've added 9.
Yeah, pretty close,
9.
yeah.
So in any event, it can come in drips and drabs, or it can come in a flood. But either way, we set the goals out there, and if we fall short, well, we still have more properties than we had before.
Okay, let's go to Tasha. I want to
Tasha.
hear your vision for your portfolio and what you're going to do to get there.
So this is constantly changing, and something that I'm currently evaluating, and you've probably heard me say that before. So I would say, generally speaking, I'm looking to add 5 doors this year. I'm still sticking with single family, maybe a duplex and things of that nature, or small multis of that nature. I think in my town, in my region, those just perform better than the multifamilies, or at least the larger multifamilies. But other than that, just like probably most people, I have an acquisition phase where I'm actively looking for deals. And then one where I'm not necessarily actively looking for deals, but if one pops up and it looks really good, or if I get a hot lead, then yes, I'll take a look at it. So right now I'm in the latter. We're finishing up a rehab, hopefully going to start on another one. And so I'm not actively looking for deals right this second. And again, I'm focusing on the operations and tweaking my systems.
I love you sharing that. Thank you so much.
But I have one question and it's for Tasha and it's going to be quick, I hope. Tasha, you're like the busiest person around. She's a partner in a law firm. She has a toddler and another child who goes to school, and I know all the stuff that goes along with that. And she manages an entire portfolio of her own short-term rentals, and she bursts. Like there's like so much that goes on in her life. How are you doing it all?
I would say largely I am not doing it all, right? Behind me is an amazing team, right? Including my husband and things of that nature. I think on a more practical level, we're all juggling balls. I think the priority, and maybe even one of the things that I do very well, is figuring out what balls are glass and which one are rubbers and can bounce back, right? And so I'm constantly cycling through that thought process. Literally, I start my day with, what are the priorities? What do I need to get done? And thinking through that analogy of the juggling the ball thing. So in short, that's how.
Oh my goodness. That is the most brilliant thing. There are 100 things that we're all probably doing that are unnecessary. And that we are probably doing because we think we should be doing them in the business and in our personal lives, because we think they're because of other people's expectations. So team and prioritizing, 100%. I love it.
So good. Sensei Panel, this was another excellent conversation.
I just want to express my gratitude. Thank you so much, Anne and Randy and Tasha and Brittany. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking the time and being here and sharing, just being real with us and sharing yourselves with us. And this time, we appreciate you guys so much.